Hi, and welcome to the Other World podcast. I'm just going to change view so we can, there we go. I'm just looking at you now, Fee. That makes it much nicer for me. Yeah. I'm going to start first, and Fee and I are going to talk about the week July 19 to 25. This is an interesting week for me. The theme around it is a push and pull energy around self and around the collective. So whether you're serving yourself or whether you're concentrating on your own energy, or whether you're concentrating on the collective and doing something for the collective. And how this is showing up is in a variety of different ways, but I'll just go over a few of the bigger points of what's happening this week. First of all, we have the sun entering Leo this week on the 22nd, which is the sun's coming out of Cancer, the emotional, watery realms of Cancer, home and family, and moving into Leo, the lion. It's a lot more of a childlike, creative, playful energy in Leo. The sun is also at home in Leo. So there's this beautiful sense of being really comfortable in all of your creativity. It's a great time for being adventurous, of having some fun, and of being creative, which I think we've been speaking to a lot because there's been a lot of planets going into Leo. Well, now the sun's there, and that's going to obviously be for the next month. But at the same time, the next day we have an Aquarian full moon. So Aquarius sits at the opposite side of the astrological wheel. And that's where the group comes in, because Leo is very much this me energy. What about me? It's all about me. And then on the opposite side, we have Aquarius, which is a lot more about groups, a lot more about the collective. And the moon's moving is in a full moon in Aquarius. So there is that, the emotional the emotional body of the moon being in Aquarius. There's that push and pull between it being about me or being about the collective and showing up for the collective. This is also showing up through Mercury. Mercury is the other really interesting planet over this next week for me. So Mercury rules our communication, our kind of day-to-day communication, conversations, dialogues, really how we show up on social media, how we show up online. And we start the week on the 20th with Mercury in a Cancer, sextiling Uranus in Taurus. So this could lead to really interesting conversations, out of the ordinary conversations, maybe transformative conversations that could lead to change. So just maybe having an awareness on the 20th of the conversations that you have and where they might lead you. You might find you're talking about aliens coming to Earth or some other such things on that day. Then we have another aspect with Mercury in Cancer on the 24th. Mercury trines Neptune in Pisces. So these are both water signs. They're both emotional signs, and you've got the planet of communication and Neptune. And Neptune, as I've said in the past, is more that intuitive, I just think of the sea, think of the depths of the sea, think of emotion, think of Pisces. Actually, if you can think of anybody that you know that's a Piscean, Neptune rules Pisces. So there is a sense of the illusions, the hidden, bringing an awareness to the depths of well, the depths that can't be reached through the head, maybe more the emotional realms. So maybe the feminine, finding that. So when you've got these two, Mercury and Neptune, trining, it could be a really beautiful opening to a conversation or parts of your psyche that you're getting in touch with, that you're able to maybe have a greater ability to bring your intuition into the conversation, maybe a greater ability to access that part of you. But it also might lead to more emotional conversations. It also might lead to conversations that are a little bit more confusing and not clear. So that's the 24th. And on the next day, you have Mercury again in Cancer, this time opposing Pluto in Capricorn. And this, to me, so you've got Cancer and Capricorn, which is home and work. You've got Mercury, which is communication, and Pluto, which is the god of the underworld. So the opposition between the depths and the everyday conversations. There's the opposition there. So I'm really feeling, Fee, we were talking before we came on about the sort of conversations that are happening online right now, and that a lot of people are feeling the need to come forward with their opinions and with what they're doing with regard to, you know, vaccinations or where they sit on, you know, the COVID or conspiracy theories. And it feels like it's another week for that, for these opposing places, for how you feel and sitting in how you feel versus actually speaking up and putting it out there and feeling the need to voice that so that others can hear it. That's this me serving myself, but also this need to serve the greater, to serve the collective. And whether it's serving or not, I don't know, but it's just bringing that some kind of, this is where I sit and now I need the world to know about it. Maybe a good thing, maybe not a good thing. I don't know. I can't make a judgment on that. I think everybody's just going to have to make their own call on that. But I can feel that need inside, and I can feel, I can certainly see it happening out in the world. What was really interesting to me and really stumped me, Fee, was the card that I chose. Because having said all of that, I pick Thanatos, which is death. You know, and try as I might to try and frame this death when we're moving into this beautiful sign of Leo, and Leo being such a life, it feels like there's a lot of liveliness and aliveness and play happening in this next month. So this death card, I'm going to say it has me stumped, and I'm going to hand it over to you to find out what it is in that card, or what it is that might speak to you of.
Thanks. Well, I mean, I think the death card's always really, for me, related to endings and, you know, before we can rebirth into something else. And death is always one of those cards that people hate pulling. I'm not saying this is you, but generally we kind of, but actually it always for me feels like a card that's just such a letting go, a clearing out, a just releasing of something. So I don't know if there may be something in that. I'm not sure if it ties in exactly with what I'm going to say, but what I wanted to talk to was that piece you mentioned there about the, you know, just this strong feeling that people are having at the moment to voice where they're at, voice their truth. And we've touched on this the last couple of weeks. I know last week you mentioned this, that someone had, you know, mentioned the sitting on the fence place of, you know, you should be either here or should be here. And this, and I sat with that this week. And for me, I came to this this kind of understanding that there's such a heightened energy at the moment around stepping into truth. We're all being called to step into our truth. So we're feeling that need and that desire and that impetus to say what we feel. But the piece that we seem to be missing sometimes is that we need to allow other people to have their truth too, which is that kind of second stage of that. So, you know, I feel that when we're sometimes we're so driven by this energy that's supporting us that we can't see it in any other way other than through our own, you know, our own lens of it at that time, because it's so strongly within us. But once that starts to settle down, then we can move into that next phase of allowing other people to have their truth as well. So I feel like that's the place that we reach eventually with that. And it, for me, doesn't feel at all like sitting on a fence. It feels very powerful. So yeah, that was just my reflection on that. Yes. So from my perspective, we're currently in week 29 for 2021. So this week is an 11-2 week, which means the energies that are supporting you this week are rooted in the archetypes of the double one and two. So 11, double one, is one of the three master numbers in numerology, which means that the energy is very powerful. The master numbers always bring in a really powerful energy to work with. So in particular with the 11 master number, you'll probably be feeling a deeper connection to, I would say, a higher source of wisdom, because this archetype holds really the energy of enlightenment and illumination. So this is definitely a week to really listen to your intuition, to let yourself be led intuitively, kind of hand it over to your intuition, and to trust, more importantly, your own innate inner wisdom. 11 also holds a deep connection to the law of attraction. And so you can think of this week as, I guess, a magnetic portal that can attract in what you desire. The energy of one is really where you realize that you create your own reality with the power of your intentions, your desires, and your beliefs. And when you double that with the 11 energy, it opens up a powerful opportunity to attract in what you are seeking. So you can look at the week ahead really as a way of allowing your intuition and inner guidance system to direct you to your true intentions and to what you really want to create at this time. But we also need to, I think, consider one of the other aspects of 11 energy, and that is the opposite of attraction, which is repulsion or pushing away. So instead of attracting in what you want, are you pushing it away? So this may highlight what you need to observe maybe within yourself that is getting in the way of attracting in what you want at the moment. You know, that could be, are your thoughts or beliefs out of alignment with what you're trying to create? Or maybe is it the action that you're taking that's out of alignment? So if you find yourself feeling pulled, and I think you mentioned this as well, Denny, that sort of push and pull energy that we're sitting in this week, that's very much this kind of 11 energy. You might feel yourself being pulled in different directions, or struggling to align your thoughts and feelings with each other. And this is why you're being guided to sort of really dive within yourself to find the answers, to slow down and tune into your true path and not be really sidetracked by what other people are saying or doing. So then, of course, you're also going to be experiencing the energies this week of the 2 archetype. So 2 is where you move into relationship with others. So you may therefore be guided to look at some of your relationships and really observe where you stand in that relationship to the other person. You might be guided to look at what, you know, what is unfolding in your relationships, or to look at that on a broader scale through, say, your relationship with the world around you. Or you may be guided to look at your relationship with yourself. So these are all different themes that might show up this week. This energy can really support you to observe yourself in relationship to anything that is actually showing up in your world at this time. So that could be your masculine and feminine, young and old, matters of equality, gender, culture, race, all of these things. Your relationship to those things may be where the focus comes in for you over this week. So your relationship to all of those things may rise more consciously in your thoughts. So look at those, look at what's surfacing for you around that. 2 really brings you into connection with others, but it also shows you where you may be disconnected from other people or from the world itself. It's a very feminine energy. So it's going to bring you into deeper connection with the earth, to notice whether you are connected to the earth or whether you're disconnected to the earth herself. So, you know, there's a lot really to work with these energies, but it's unlikely that you're going to feel all of those things. That would be slightly overwhelming. However, you're likely to notice some of those things rising into your personal awareness this week. And then the card that I pulled was this one, which is the Strength card. I love the colors in this card, actually. And this card, I think, really brings a message of digging deep within yourself to embody the inner strength that you hold. You know, it's an 8 card as well. And the 8 meaning of this card brings a sense of achievement and accomplishment. It kind of guides you to look at the overarching vision for your life and embody the courage that you have, what it takes to actually create what it is you want in life at the moment. It's a really strong card that offers support and connection to your inner resilience and perseverance. So I loved this card. I felt it was really supportive for the week ahead. And then I sat with the energies that are coming through today, or the message, more to the point, from the Akasha. And whilst I was sitting with this message, we were in the middle of this massive thunderstorm. So it was quite interesting to, you know, get these little beautiful words coming through and then crashing of thunder. It was very dramatic, but I can't really relay it back in the same way with all of the drama. So I'll just give it to you in the way that I can now. But the message from the Akasha this week is: find your center and breathe into it. Find your center and relax. Find your center and notice that no matter what else is going on in the world around you, this is your sanctuary. This is your home. This is your power. Nothing can penetrate this sacred place deep within you unless you choose it to be so. Your inner temple is yours alone. And when you spend time there, you nourish your soul and open your heart. Remember the medicine that you hold within. So it was just, I felt like a beautiful reminder to come back into that place. And I know for myself personally, many times actually on my journey, that's always been a really beautiful place to go, particularly when there's a lot going on around me that I can't control or is out of control for me, and just coming back into that place within me that just really holds space for me is a way of really just helping myself and supporting myself.
Beautiful. Thanks, Fee. I love that. I love the push and pull energy, and that place between head and heart, or thoughts and feelings. That's definitely that feeling that I was getting towards this week. And I also, as you were speaking, was feeling into the death card that I picked, and something kind of arose around, because it wasn't feeling like that same place of what do you need to let go of in order for something else to come in. I think actually the energy around this is what might we lose if we don't stand in our truth? What might we lose if we don't take a stand for what we believe in? That kind of felt more true to this card for me. There was this place of truth, but also the death of what might die that doesn't need to, if we step up in some way. That kind of felt a little bit more true to me.
Yeah, I mean, truth energy is so strong at the moment. And, I know there are a lot of people that are actually driven by truth anyway. That's their strongest driving energy. And those people that hold that as a strong driving energy, it's one of their biggest journeys in life, is how to stand in their truth without upsetting or hurting other people, or being too blunt with it, or knowing when people are ready to receive their truth. But we're all, to some degree, working with that energy so much at the moment. So it isn't any surprise, I don't think, that there are a lot of heightened emotions at the moment, and there are a lot of extreme points of view going on. But I'm sure as we journey through this a little bit more, we'll all eventually find that place of the kind of balance in between.
I mean, as you know, that truth is my driving, one of my driving energies, and I constantly ride that wave of needing to speak up about truth, and knowing that it's not in someone's best interest if I do, and that that's defined so much of my life. And I come back to intention every time with that, and that's the best way that I have of knowing whether to speak up or whether to speak my truth, is knowing where it's coming from and knowing what I intend for the person I'm delivering it to. So that's that in this week of dialogues and communication might be a beautiful thing to throw into the pot this week also, is just really knowing where you're coming from, where your intentions lie, before speaking your truth.
Yeah, it's always good, I think, to have that check-in around intention, because sometimes we just step into vocalizing something either through habit or because we are actually feeling so strongly about it. And we can all step into ego sometimes as well, of course. So it is good to just have that check-in, and just asking yourself, well, what is my real intention behind what I want to say, or what I'm feeling so drawn to speak here. I think that's a very powerful way to work with it.
And who is it serving?
Yes, exactly. Well, it's going to be another interesting week ahead.
It will be, but I think if you can spend some time in creativity, however that may be for you, gardening, cooking, poetry, music, dancing, I think that would be really supportive.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm
All right.
intending to do that too.
Oh, we'll see you next week. Enjoy the week and enjoy the Leo season.
Yeah, have a good week, everyone.